This is Brian Anderson with Hall of Famers Grant Hill and Doris Burke. Allie LaForce, our reporter. Tip-off goes to the Hornets. Here's Peterson. Banchero the screen. Peterson, that one's good. Well, this matchup features two teams that are elite when it comes to rebounding, Doris.
You know, there was a point at which, BA, it felt like rebounding was almost, especially on the offensive end, de-emphasized. Now you're getting back to a point where understanding dominating the defensive backboards. It means finishing your possession defensively and offensively creating more opportunity. It's an important aspect on both ends. Ref's calling it close already as he picks up a quick early foul.
First team foul.
Outside Dick. Pass to Peterson. Banchero the screen. Off the mark there with a three. Here's Milwaukee. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
I briefly spoke with Darko Rajakovic. I asked him how he plans to slow down Paolo Banchero, and Coach told me, look, he's an all-star, so you've got to guard him with your whole team. He's big, he's strong, he can punish you down low, but he's also quick and has the ability to beat you on the perimeter. We'll have to be disciplined tonight, BA.
Good job there, Allie. Thanks.
You have to be ready on the catch. Paolo Banchero, easy work on the jumper.
To the middle. Oh, Banchero throws it down.
Adding insult to injury with the dunk off the steal.
Nice to see a good play on D. That led to some fireworks.
Let's see if that serves as a momentum builder. What a great sequence for this group.
Yeah, sometimes even Giannis needs help. The play gets him all the room he needs to strike.
First quarter, just about 2 minutes in.
And great job to establish position and square up.
That's his first personal foul.
Well, Grant, they say early in Giannis's career, he had to work not just on his game, but his attitude.
And that's true, B.A. It wasn't a bad attitude. He just lacked an edge. The ruthless mindset that all great players have. But, man, once he got that edge, he never lost it.
Here's Peterson. After the basket by Milwaukee on the other end. Takes a three. Over to the left wing. Banchero the screen. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Dick. The three is up. Rebound, Anthony Davis. And here's Jackson. He'll bring it up for the Bucks. The three. And it's Kristaps Porzingis with the three. Porzingis has got 5 now.
Talk about hitting the ground running. 4 for 5 to start.
Banchero the screen. And he lobs it up top. Stolen by Davis. To the paint. Kicks it out to Antetokounmpo. Outside, DiVincenzo.
Well, a bit reckless right there. That's his second foul, and he can't afford to pick up a third.
First team foul.
And the Bucks with the possession here. Antetokounmpo surveys. Shot clock at 6. Got a hand on it.
How about that denial by Paolo Banchero? Nice to see him put that frame to use.
A shot to stop the run. He hits the back iron and sinks it.
Well, that's a bad shot until it goes through the net.
Jackson on the wing. 19-footer. It's rebounded by Charlotte.
Boy, defense nowhere to be found, and neither was his shot at that time.
Pass to Peterson. The three is up. Giannis Antetokounmpo grabs the board. Milwaukee in the lead. DiVincenzo on the wing. It's stolen. Here's Salone. Nails it from beyond the arc. He's got 5.
Boy, you love what this guy is doing right now. He's taking smart shots, shooting a high percentage, starting to cook.
Now here's Antetokounmpo. Porzingis for 3. It's rebounded by Salon. 1:24 left in the first quarter of the game.
That was a good call. The defense wasn't established.
First personal foul. Second team foul. Coming onto the floor for your Bucks.
1:19 left in the first quarter. Kessler a screen. Here's Dick. The three-pointer off the mark. And we've got a whistle. He was fouling with a purpose. And in that spot, in that situation, it's got to be a transition take foul. Milwaukee shooting their first free throw of the game.
There's a reason people call Kristaps Porzingis the unicorn. A 7-foot big man, but boy, what a sweet shooter he is.
Now here's Jackson. He's scoreless. Outside Porzingis. And a miss there on the triple.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
Kessler a screen. Inside. And finished off by Kessler.
You can tell how much confidence Walker Kessler has as the roll man, ready to catch and score.
Antetokounmpo with it. And Kessler picks him up defensively. Back to Porzingis. Antetokounmpo outside. Just 5 on the clock. And the Bucks miss again.
I love how they've attacked the boards here in the first quarter.
Here's Dick. Giannis with the rebound.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
At the line for Milwaukee. Giannis.
No good on the free throw.
2 shots.
He hits the second from the line.
And Giannis will just about do anything the coaching staff asks. A true team player.
Halliburton looking for an opening. To the inside. Here's Andrews. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. It's the Hornets. They lead by 3. And the second quarter is on its way when we return. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Hornets.
Well, you got to be impressed with how selfless they've been so far. Their passing has been simply outstanding.
The other thing they've done a great job of so far is getting offense off of their defense, forcing turnovers, then quickly converting.
And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He'll take the opportunity to regroup.
You know what time it is, Bucks fans. Give it up for your one more time for your 414 Blue Dynasty.
Bucks trail by 3. Grant, the Hornets are a team hoping to end a pretty substantial playoff drought.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they made a buzz in the postseason, but their return could be closer than people think. A few smart moves here or there might be all it takes.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Hey, Brian, Anthony Davis is letting it fly. He said, the way that teams are playing me, I've been getting back to the mid-range. It's an easier shot instead of fighting the double team, so that's all it is, continuing to trust it and shoot it. Brian, we've seen that jumper be a real weapon for him.
Yeah, that's a good call, Allie. Thanks. Down low. Over to the wing. Back to DiVincenzo. Davis a screen. From 9 feet. And rejected. It's a one-on-one situation. And he dunks it down.
I think everyone in here felt that dunk.
No question. That is a power-packed windmill jam. Wow. DiVincenzo driving. There's the three. Davis can't hit. Charlotte leading by 8. Here's Andrews. They get it back. Halliburton on the wing. Here's the three. Another shot. Count it. 1 for 1 to start the game.
And they found a nice flow offensively here in the second period.
The three, DiVincenzo. Count it. And that shot gets him in the books. He's 1 for 3.
What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
They set the pick to the paint. Here's Andrews. He drops it. From range. Andrews has gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. To the inside. Back to DiVincenzo. To the middle. Here's Davis. AD doing what he does.
You talk about guys that like to go right to the rim. AD is towards the top of that list.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second. With the drive. Andrews. The fader. Rebound, Milwaukee. DiVincenzo with it. Grant, when you talk about consistency and officiating game to game, you think there's room for improvement?
You know, I do think so. I mean, they're allowing more contact, but overall, more clarity on what constitutes legal guarding position would help players and officials.
Halliburton outside. Halliburton punching in. Whoa! And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Well, Tyrese Halliburton has demonstrated terrific improvement running the offense, especially with how he moves the basketball.
Now here's DiVincenzo. And so far in this one, 2 for 4. Hornets leading by 8. Here's Stokes. No points so far. On the take. Oh, powered down with both hands.
Slams it down with 2 hands.
Man, they're really getting aggressive now.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Smith outside. On the wing, Davis. Back to Smith. Pass to DiVincenzo. The Bucks need to get up a shot here. Misses the three.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Milwaukee shooting their 4th shot at the foul line here.
First team foul. At the line for the Bucks. Substitution for your Bucks. T.E. Malik Beasley.
Bucks trail by 9. The three. Can't get his first shot of the game to fall. Here's Stokes. 3-pointer. The rebound by Beasley. Pass to Smith. Back to Beasley. Oh, swiped away. Inside. Tyrese playing big in the painted area.
Well, you love when guards are unafraid to get to the painted area and finish. Go ahead, Tyrese.
Smith outside. Pass to Kamari. DiVincenzo with it. Picked by Smith. DiVincenzo with it. Halliburton picks him up. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
Milwaukee shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. So for the Hornets. And the second free throw is good. 40 seconds left to play in the second quarter. And now we have an intentional foul. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, bizarre play, B.A. Not sure what got into him. I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Now here's Dick. Yet to see a basket. Here's Salon. Offline with a 3.
And that's how you have to defend him out there on the three-point line. Played him perfectly.
To the inside. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
Easy money for Kristaps Porzingis. That's 7-3 we're talking about.
It would be smart to hold for the final shot.
Well, that's great execution if you can do that, because it takes any chance at momentum away from your opponent.
Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. It's going to be on Anthony Davis.
Well, that was clearly a foul.
And he can't make the second free throw either. He missed them both. From deep. No good. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's Charlotte finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead. And it's all due to their ability to own the paint. They've been dominant down low. Back after this. And we played through the first half. Plenty of basketball left in this one. Bucks trail by 8. Jackson right side. Antetokounmpo outside. Out to Beasley. Pass to Davis. 5 on the clock. Here's Antetokounmpo. The layup off target.
Oh, love the intensity in which they're hitting the boards.
Dick gets the bucket. Dick's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches might let you hear it for taking the three-pointer on the break, but I like the decision there. The D had already collapsed inside.
Back to Beasley. Now here's Antetokounmpo. 5 points in the game. Offensive rebound. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
One of the only ways to slow down Antetokounmpo is to get physical with him. But you know what? That may not work. He is so good at absorbing contact in the paint.
Both teams deciding to change it up. And he's good on the second. Hornets leading by 10. Second half getting started. About a minute played. Knocks it loose. Here's Jackson. And the dunk by Jackson.
The big-time throwdown.
Check him out. Keeps the grip on that rim after the finish. A little extra emphasis. Now here's Banchero. Banchero uses his size down there.
He drops yet another dime. Just facilitating this offense like a maestro.
I'll say this, Banchero is a guy that opponents can't forget about for a second. And you see it in all the defensive attention he gets. Teams show him all kinds of different looks, and he draws a bunch of double teams in isolation. Clock at 6. Porzingis.
Such a disruptive defender, Kessler, one of the best shot blockers this league has to offer.
And Charlotte making a change here. 4 on the clock. Wow! A rim-rattling jam by Giannis.
Just great offense. The screen freeing him up for the slam.
Hey, without that screen, he doesn't get a clean look at the rim.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
Pass to Kessler. Shoots from 14. Tilly grabs the board. And Darko Rajakovic has called a timeout. He's going to gather the troops and talk. over.
That's a good timeout. They just can't hit anything.
Sometimes it just feels like misses become contagious. He wants to settle his guys down right now.
Substitution on the court.
The Bucks trail by 8. Antetokounmpo outside. There's Jackson with the 3. Sends it home from three-point land. Jackson's got 5.
And that's just Giannis making the right play, feeding the open man.
Here's Andrews. Halliburton outside. Charlotte needs to get one up in a hurry. And it's Andrews missing. In transition, here come the Bucks. Outside Porzingis. Wow, Porzingis with the triple.
They've been aggressive during this run, but they've also played under control.
I think the communication on offense is working at every level right now. What a run for this group.
Here's Andrews. Defended by Jackson. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Charlotte's shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. He's perfect from the line this time.
An efficient night from the line. This is a guy who puts in the work and it pays dividends.
To the left wing. Fires from deep. And the Bucks hit again from deep.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Here's Halliburton. It's deflected. And they get it back. Here's Stokes. There's a screen. And that one is stuffed right through.
His hang time on the rim puts a sweet cherry on top, BA.
It's a close game, and those displays of explosiveness can jumpstart a team. Now here's Antetokounmpo. Give him 8. Porzingis misses.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the boards.
Here's Andrews. He's got 5. No good on the triple.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Here's Porzingis. He nails it. That's his 5th make in 11 tries.
Absolutely incredible what Kristaps Porzingis can do. He's over 7 feet. He's got an all-around game, and he's getting to every aspect of it right now.
And stolen by Antetokounmpo. In transition, here come the Bucks. Jackson with room to fire. And the Bucks getting another bucket right there. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Bucks.
Well, their D has been a major story tonight. I mean, those steals and putting pressure on the ball, clogging the passing lanes, impressive.
And another theme in this game, to me, guys, has been how lethal they've been in transition. Attack on the break and make sure you convert.
Here's Stokes. Antetokounmpo covering. Stokes misses. Milwaukee leading by 3. Pass to Tilly. Kicks it out to Jackson. Drains the triple. Jackson's got 10 points now, just in this quarter.
You know, I've got to say, defensively, the effort simply hasn't been there this half. They've got to pick up their energy.
So it's both teams making substitutions here.
Substitution on the court.
Now 5 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Will it go? Peterson, that one's good.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
We've got 22 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Takes a 13-footer. Another one falls for Milwaukee.
And they're shooting with much more confidence here in the second half. The field goal percentage is now over 50%.
Pass to Peterson. Jacks up a three. Gets the three ball to go. Peterson's got 7.
This guy reads situations so well, and he knows how to execute.
And we've just finished the third quarter. What a tight game we've got going. Bucks ahead. Yep. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. And here's Charlotte now. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. It's going to be on Anthony Davis. First one falls for him.
Shooting for Charlotte.
Both good from the line that time. Milwaukee in the lead. They set a pick. Pass to Tilly. No one near him. And the rebound goes to Charlotte.
All alone from mid-range. You got to think he's kicking himself.
Here's Banchero. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. And the Hornets lead by 1.
You see the fearlessness on the interior by Paolo Banchero. This is his comfort zone.
The drive by DiVincenzo. Tilly with a bucket.
Their long-range shooting since halftime has been as strong as you could hope for.
Pass to Kessler. Banked it in off the glass.
Kessler always looking to score down low. A nice finish inside.
Beasley outside. Outside. DiVincenzo. Here's Davis. Here's Tilly. Beyond the arc. It's not going to go for him. Here's Banchero. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. To the wing, right side. Here's Stallone. 5 to shoot. And Dante DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
He didn't have his feet planted.
Substitution on the court.
Outside Dick. 6 to shoot. Launches it. Porzingis grabs the board.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Antetokounmpo outside. Back to Porzingis. From deep. Kessler with a rebound. So it's the Hornets now. They've played a great fourth quarter defensively, allowing only 3 points. Outside Dick. Pass to Peterson. Lets it go from deep. That shot off. Now Kessler. And finished off by Kessler.
You simply have got to box out Walker Kessler. This guy gets a lot of his offense from second chance opportunities.
Kicks it out to Jackson. Hits the trifecta. Jackson's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Here in the second half, they're really focused on stretching the floor.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
Here's Porzingis. Oh, and Porzingis powers it home.
Wow, Porzingis, no hesitation hesitation and the balance of the game he delivers.
Going inside. Pass to Kessler. From outside, off the mark. The Bucks leading by 3. Jackson with it. He's picked up by Banchero. Good chance here for Antetokounmpo. And it's Milwaukee scoring again.
And he is just showing off right now. I mean, he's giving you leadership. Giannis just takes pride in stepping up and hitting those big shots.
To stop the run, Antetokounmpo with the block. Out of bounds as Charlotte keeps possession. Here's Stokes. Rebound collected by Anthony Davis. Right side, DiVincenzo. Porzingis misses. Hornets trail by 5. Here's Stokes. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. So the first one drops. And that shrinks the margin to just 4. And the second free throw, no good. Tough break there.
Just a tough miss at the line. They're down 2 baskets now.
And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
So many times Giannis forces his man into a foul. As a defender, you can't give him anything easy. That leads to a lot of contact.
So neither attempt will fall that time for him.
The resume Giannis has built already is impressive, and he's nowhere close to being done adding to it.
The ball's knocked loose. Clock at 6. Here's Stokes. For 3. They got the rebound. Boom! He jams it straight down.
And I'll tell you what, this is a guy who doesn't take a break at all on the boards.
Man, doing serious work. He likes being an anchor on the glass.
Well, but his defenders keep forgetting to box him out. He continues to just make them pay.
Here's Antetokounmpo. And the rebound goes to Charlotte.
Boy, that's one he wishes he could have back, especially against soft defense.
Pass to Halliburton. There's 48 seconds left to play in the 4th.
Well, put all that size to good use. Rip it off the backboard.
Expect them to take their time to strip down.
Yeah, B.A., the clock is theirs to burn.
What a huge trip here.
Absolutely. You can feel the energy in this arena.
Here's Stokes. They get it again. Halliburton outside. To take the lead.
Yeah, such an imposing defensive force. Giannis with the great timing on the rejection.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Yeah, just a must-foul situation to stop the clock.
He gets the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And he hits both free throws here, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Well, this trip to the line should seal the deal. Amazing job.
Puts up a deep 3. Peterson, no good. So it's a narrow victory for the Bucks, pulling it out for the W. Boy, they didn't make it easy on their fans or themselves, but at the end of the day, everyone on their side is happy.
Yeah, happy indeed. The momentum shifted away from them a few times, especially early on. But give these guys credit for sticking with the game plan and finishing the job.
Well, folks, that's going to